invite your child to explore their imaginations and play with words. I love playing with words, with 52 idea-inspiring writing prompts. Welcome to Epic Mom Life. I am your host, Kara Peterson. This show is sponsored by The Possum's Tale, a unique book adventure for your 6 to 12-year-old child. Let's jump into today's show. 52 spring writing prompts for your young writers. I absolutely love creating these. I think they're pretty good. But before we unleash that creativity, let's do a quick rundown on how to establish a writing routine in your home. Establish a consistent schedule. Set aside dedicated writing time each day or week to prioritize writing practice. 2. Create a dedicated writing space. Designate a quiet and comfortable space specifically for writing activities. 3. Set clear goals and objectives. Determine the specific writing skills or genres you want your child to focus on. Start with warm-up exercises. Begin each writing session with a warm-up exercise such as free writing. I've talked about free writing, which is why I do these writing prompts, or journaling to stimulate creativity and set the writing mood. Now, this can be a lot of different things when you set your goals. It can be just to write. It doesn't have to be a big, huge, hamburger-like style goal. It can just be a tiny little pea-sized goal, like, I just want you to write for 2 minutes. I just want you to get into the habit of writing. Use writing prompts. Yay! That's where Kara's creativity comes in, and I love using my creativity. Offer a variety of prompts, including narrative, descriptive, persuasive, and imaginative prompts. The reason you do this is because your child won't understand, but they're learning how to write in different methods. So if you're writing from a different perspective, like the Kentucky Derby and the horse's perspective, they're writing from a different perspective. Or if they're persuading somebody, or all these different ways, they're starting to formulate in different ways, and that just doesn't seem like a school lesson. They're actually learning some really great skills. Encourage creative expression. Foster a supportive environment where your child feels comfortable expressing their creativity through writing. So that would be not checking all of the grammar and periods and all of that, which leads us to this next one. And I'm really on the fence about this one because this whole article, blog, whatever, is talking about writing prompts. Provide constructive feedback. Yes, if you're going to give feedback, offer constructive feedback to help your child improve their writing skills. However, for me, writing prompts are to just get a flow of writing happening. It's just to get your child comfortable with the act of writing and to allow them to be imaginative and creative and to help them enjoy writing. Because let's face it, a lot of people don't enjoy writing. We're trying to get them over that really big hurdle. So if you're going to go through and look at every single writing prompt or writing that they do and start getting out your red pen, which I also encourage you to use a green pen, red just makes all of us cringe. But if you're going to go through and do that and start circling every error, then they're not going to think of that as a creative time. So when I do writing prompts, and every article I do on writing prompts, I have a little thing in the beginning, like this one I talk about setting up your writing space. In other ones, I've talked about free writes and all kinds of things. So check out my other writing prompt articles and you'll see different ones, things that I've focused on. But usually, like when I do these in my classroom, I'd have them do free writes every single day. And I'd let the child pick their favorite one out of every, say, 10 to 11. So every 2.5 weeks or so, they would pick their favorite one and they would turn that prompt that they had written into, like, say, a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, because we only wrote for, like, say, 5 minutes. They would turn that into a formal writing. Once they did the formal writing, and remember, there's a whole writing process, so they would go from the prompt to the writing to the rough draft to the peer edit. So one of their peers would go through and they would circle all of the things that didn't make sense, and they would have a rubric of what to look for, and then they would do another final rough draft. That's when I would look at it, and then I would give constructive feedback. So there's a lot of steps in there, so I really give caution before you just give constructive feedback. I also recommend that writing prompts, and you need to talk to your child about this, they can be private, because that allows your child to maybe get out stuff that they just want to get out. So you can establish what that format will be with your child beforehand. Explore collaborative writing. If you can find the opportunity, engage in collaborative writing activities such as co-authoring stories or creating a family newsletter or a way to share it. Anything that your child does, if that is able to be published or shared or in some way presented, it's more important. I used to call it the round file, everything that just goes in the trash. Nobody wants to do anything that's made to go in the round file. I mean, the round file obviously isn't very important. It just gets taken to the dump. Your kid feels that too. Integrate writing across subjects. Incorporate writing across various subjects, such as when you visit the natural parks. There's a link to that. I am so jazzed up about the national parks and how you can use that in your homeschool room, and I have a whole section on that about writing. And then most importantly, make writing fun. Writing is more fun when it is about a topic your child enjoys. If your child has difficulty with the actual process, be sure to check out 4 easy steps to being a great writer without ever picking up a pencil. That's in the links. Okay, let's get on with 52 fabulous writing prompts. I am not going to list all 52 here, even though they're absolutely amazing. They are in the blog, and the link to the blog is in the notes. But I am going to tell you one from each category. I did 6 categories: events, animals, insects/spiders, people, nature, and random, because you always have random. So here are my samples. Events. Okay, I classified May 4th as an event. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars. You are given the power and choice to join the light side or the dark side of the Force. Write a persuasive paragraph explaining your choice and the reasons why you would align yourself with that side. Animals. I had so much fun with this one. And you can imagine it, right? So you're a parrot, and you can either write it from the perspective of a parrot or looking in, but write a funny story about a parrot who overhears a conversation between 2 villains. Now that parrot, and you're going to describe this parrot having to tell its human owner about that information and the comical misunderstandings that happen in trying to say, hey, this is what's happening. Insect spiders, a paper airplane. Create a comic strip depicting the quirky and imaginative escapades of a spider hitching a ride on an airplane. Use speech bubbles and colorful illustrations and captions to tell the story. Nature. Star. Imagine being a shooting star. Write a short story about your journey as you streak across the night sky. Granting wishes. What kind of wishes are you hearing and granting? And the joy that you are bringing to those who witness your brilliance. People. It seems like there's so many writing prompts on superheroes. I was having my allergy season, so this one came to me. Allergies. You have unique allergies that give you extraordinary powers. Write a superhero story about your adventures and how your special condition becomes an advantage in fighting crime. And that seems really confusing, I get, especially if you're talking to like a 3rd grader. So I wanted to give an example. For example, you sneeze every time someone lies. I thought that was kind of fun. And then of course you're random. This happened in our family and it was smelly. A humorous story about a family that keeps losing items in her freezer. The funny consequences and the unexpected discoveries that arise from the lost items. I just got this just yesterday, and my husband was like, "Did you even look? It was right there." I mean, you could even do the dialogue, right? I mean, this happens. I mean, maybe we're the only family that this happens, but I swear, things get lost in the freezer all the time. So, first, establish your homeschool writing routine and enjoy the writing process. And as fabulous as that sounds, it will not be very effective if your children are struck dumb by a blank piece of paper. So this is where writing prompts come into play to light up the fires of creativity and spark interest into your child to write. Invite your child to explore their imaginations and play with words. I love playing with words. With 52 idea-inspiring writing prompts. And the movie quote from Black Beauty in honor of the Kentucky Derby: "Horses are a window to your soul. They can read your facial expressions, your emotions. They'll feel everything you do." If you are hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, I want to send you a huge thank you. Please leave me a comment or review and share with other moms you know. Get in touch in the comments or on Kara's social media networks. See you next week for a new episode.